Oddly enough, an example of a structure that would have worked for RDR2 can be seen with Far Cry 5. Please stay with me. The game is split into 3 regions that can be tackled in any order. Each is run by a different member of the Seed family who is in charge of a cult known as Eden's Gate, and the player is tasked with destabilizing their reign in order to reclaim the region and eventually take them out. This is accomplished by earning resistance points, which are received through a slew of activities, ranging from rescuing hostages to destroying structures built by the cult, to capturing outposts, to completing side and story missions. Nearly everything the player does nets them resistance points, giving more significance to the open world antics as it all helps progress the story. Once the player reaches certain thresholds, they gain the attention of the zone's leader, unlocking a mission that moves the story forward. Now admittedly, Far Cry 5 stumbles a fair bit with its execution of this structure. Players don't get to choose when they start the majority of the mandatory story missions, and instead, the members of the Seed family just kidnap them after they earn a certain amount of resistance points, which is cool the first time it happens, but it is far less interesting every time after that. This leads to an even bigger problem as certain missions become unavailable after killing the region's leader, which wouldn't be an issue if the player got to choose when the story missions were triggered, but given that they are almost always thrown into it unwillingly, it stands to create a fair bit of frustration. Furthermore, it feels a bit unbalanced in terms of how quickly the player gains resistance points. It should take a bit longer to liberate each region so that players have the chance to explore more of it before they lose their incentive to engage with the world, as once a region is cleared, there isn't a good reason to keep doing things within it. Despite all of that, the frame of having nearly all open world activities contribute to the progression of the story is a simple yet effective one. It still puts weight on doing actual missions as they will yield bigger rewards, but it gives more of a reason to interact with the various happenings in the world as they also will bring about progression. To be honest, it seems like Red Dead Redemption 2 almost had a system that operated similarly to this with the camp. In it is a box where Arthur can contribute money to that is then used for various upgrades through the camp ledger, the majority of which really don't matter that much. And this seems like it would have been the perfect way to incorporate a progression system. Major story missions could have been tied to putting a certain amount of money into the camp funds. This would have given more value to doing any activity that earns money, like hunting, fishing, robbing, completing bounties, and hell, even playing poker. For this sort of change to work, the amount of money earned from every activity, especially missions, would have to be rebalanced. But if done right, it would encourage players to do everything the game has to offer. This would mean a handful of quests that are currently mandatory would probably have to become optional, as it would be tedious to fill the camp funds 80 times or whatever, but given the contents of some of the missions in the game, I don't think that's expressly a bad thing. Along with incentivizing players to explore and engage with the world, it also would have made money matter more. While there are plenty of things to spend cash